Welcome, fellow seekers of wisdom. Today we embark on a journey through the heart of Stoic philosophy, a journey that might change the way you view yourself and the world around you. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. These words, penned by the great Stoic philosopher Seneca, strike at the core of our daily struggles. How often do we find ourselves trapped by our thoughts, paralyzed by imagined fears, or consumed by desires that leave us empty? Imagine for a moment, you're about to give an important presentation, a speech at work, or a class project. Your heart races, your palms sweat. You picture yourself stumbling over words, seeing disappointment in your boss's eyes or faculties. But wait, hasn't this scenario played out countless times in your mind, yet rarely in reality? This, my friends, is the foolishness of letting our imagination run wild. Or picture this. You're scrolling through social media, comparing your ordinary Tuesday to everyone else's highlight reel. Suddenly, you feel the urge to buy anything to fill that void of inadequacy. But deep down, you know no purchase will ever be enough. This is the intemperance that plagues our modern lives. These moments, anxious anticipation and impulsive desire, are not just fleeting emotions. They represent deeper patterns, what the Stoics called vices: foolishness, injustice, cowardice, and intemperance. These are the hidden forces that often drive our actions, leading us away from the path of virtue and inner peace. But here's the thing. Recognizing these vices is the first step towards overcoming them. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. We'll delve into each of these 4 Stoic vices, uncovering how they manifest in our lives, and more importantly, how we can transform them into their virtuous counterparts. This isn't just ancient philosophy. It's a practical guide for navigating the complexities of modern life. Whether you're a stressed-out professional, a confused college student, or anyone in between, the wisdom we're about to uncover has the power to reshape your perspective and empower your decisions. So, are you ready to challenge your assumptions, face your fears, and cultivate a more virtuous life? Let's explore the 4 Stoic vices and discover how avoiding foolishness, injustice, cowardice, and intemperance can lead us to a life of wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let's find that strength together. Foolishness. Foolishness in the Stoic sense isn't about a lack of intelligence. It's about acting without wisdom, making decisions based on fleeting emotions or false impressions rather than reason. As Epictetus once said, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. Imagine you're stuck in heavy traffic. Your mind races. I'm going to be late. My boss will be furious. I might lose my job. Your heart pounds and your grip tightens on the steering wheel. But let's pause for a moment. Are these thoughts rooted in reality or a product of foolish imagination? Or imagine you're about to go on stage for a performance and suddenly forget your lines. Panic sets in. What if I completely mess this up? Everyone will laugh at me. This could ruin my chance to shine. Your palms sweat and your heart races. But wait a moment. Are these fears grounded in reality? Or are they just your mind exaggerating the situation? Or imagine you've just received a text from a close friend that reads, "We need to talk." Instantly, your mind races with thoughts. Did I say something wrong? Are they upset with me? This could ruin our friendship. You feel a knot in your stomach, and your thoughts spiral out of control. But let's take a moment to breathe. Are these assumptions based on fact, or are they just your imagination running wild? All these scenarios illustrate a common pitfall: catastrophizing. We jump to the worst possible conclusion, allowing our emotions to hijack our reason. But here's where Stoic wisdom comes in handy. Marcus Aurelius advises us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let's look back in time for a moment. In ancient Rome, an enslaved person named Epictetus lived, who would become one of the greatest Stoic philosophers. Despite his circumstances, Epictetus understood that true freedom comes from within. He taught us that it's foolish to concern ourselves with things beyond our control. The traffic, beyond your control. Your boss's reaction, also, it's not in your hands. But what is your response to the situation? That's entirely up to you. So how do we overcome foolishness in our daily lives? The Stoics offer us several strategies. 1. Practice negative visualization. Regularly imagine losing the things you value. This sounds pessimistic, but it helps you appreciate what you have and prepares you for potential setbacks. 2. Focus on what you can control. Divide situations into things you can influence and things you can't. Direct your energy towards what you can change. 3. Question your impressions. When you feel strong emotions arising, pause and ask yourself, is this really as bad as I think it is? What would a wise person do in this situation? 4. Cultivate mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting to them. This creates space for wisdom to enter. Let's take a moment now to reflect. Think about a recent situation where you might have acted foolishly. How could you have approached it differently using these Stoic principles? I'd like to offer you a Stoic challenge to practice wisdom daily. For the next week, every time you feel stressed or upset, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what part of this situation is under my control? Focus your energy on that aspect alone. You might be surprised at how this simple shift in perspective can transform your response to challenges. Remember, as Seneca said, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Wisdom is about knowing your values, understanding what's truly important, and aligning your actions accordingly. Overcoming foolishness isn't about never making mistakes. It's about learning to pause, reflect, and choose our responses wisely. It's about seeing the world clearly, without the distortions of fear, desire, or false impressions. As we move through our days, let's strive to replace foolishness with wisdom. Let's question our assumptions, challenge our knee-jerk reactions, and make decisions based on reason, rather than fleeting emotions. In doing so, we take the first step toward Stoic virtue. We begin to free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and open the door to a life of greater tranquility and purpose. Next, we'll explore the second Stoic vice, injustice. But before we do, take a moment to consider, how might cultivating wisdom change your approach to the challenges in your life? How could it transform your relationships, your work, your sense of self? The journey from foolishness to wisdom is one we're all on together. Let's continue to learn, grow, and support each other along the way. Injustice. As we transition from the realm of foolishness, we face the second Stoic vice, injustice. This vice strikes at the heart of our interactions with others and our societal place. But what exactly did the Stoics mean by injustice? Let's unravel this concept together. In Stoic philosophy, injustice goes beyond simply breaking laws or treating others unfairly. It's about acting against the fundamental interconnectedness of all human beings. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, what's bad for the hive is bad for the bee. This profound insight suggests that when we act unjustly, we don't just harm others, we harm ourselves and the fabric of society as a whole. Picture this. You're in a meeting at work, and a colleague presents an idea that sounds remarkably similar to one you shared privately with them last week. You feel a burning sense of injustice as they receive your boss's praise. Your first instinct might be to call them out, to reclaim what you believe is rightfully yours. But let's pause here and consider the Stoic perspective. The Roman philosopher Seneca once said, "He who has done you an injury is either stronger or weaker than you. If he is weaker, spare him. If he is stronger, spare yourself." This isn't about being a doormat, but understanding the bigger picture. How might reacting with anger or accusation affect the team dynamic, your professional relationships, your own peace of mind? To truly grasp the Stoic view on justice, let's journey back to ancient Athens. Picture Socrates, the father of Western philosophy, standing trial for impiety and corrupting the youth. Despite facing death, Socrates refused to flee or compromise his principles. He accepted the court's unjust verdict with equanimity, stating, "The difficulty, my friends, is not in avoiding death, but in avoiding unrighteousness, for that runs faster than death." Socrates' unwavering commitment to justice, even in the face of personal harm, embodies the Stoic ideal. He understood that true justice isn't about getting what we want, but maintaining our integrity and contributing to the greater good of society. So, how do we overcome the vice of injustice in our daily lives? The Stoics offer us several powerful strategies. 1. Cultivate empathy. Before judging others, try to understand their perspective. As Epictetus advises, when you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. 2. Practice fairness in small things. Start with your everyday interactions. Are you patient with the cashier who's having a tough day? Do you listen to others with an open mind, even when you disagree? 3. Separate actions from character. When someone wrongs you, remember that they're likely acting out of ignorance rather than malice. As Marcus Aurelius suggests, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. 4. Focus on your virtue. Instead of obsessing over the injustices done to you, concentrate on ensuring that you don't commit injustice yourself. In the words of Epictetus, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. 5. Seek the common good. In your decisions, consider not just your personal benefit, but how your actions might contribute to the well-being of your community and society. Let's pause for a moment of reflection. Think about a time when you felt treated unjustly. How did you react? How might applying these Stoic principles have changed your response and the outcome? Now, I'd like to offer you a Stoic challenge to practice justice in your daily life. Before making any significant decision for the next week, ask yourself, is this action fair not just to me, but to others and to society as a whole? This simple question can be a powerful guide towards more just behavior. It's crucial to understand that overcoming the vice of injustice isn't about being perfect. It's about striving to be fair, even when it's difficult. It's about recognizing our shared humanity and acting in ways that honor that connection. In our modern world, the vice of injustice can take many forms. It might be as subtle as spreading gossip about a co-worker, or as significant as supporting systems perpetuating inequality. The key is to remain vigilant and constantly examine our actions and motivations. Remember, justice in the Stoic sense isn't just about following rules. It's about living in harmony with the natural order of things, recognizing our role as part of a larger whole. As Seneca puts it, we are waves of the same sea, leaves of the same tree, flowers of the same garden. This interconnectedness extends beyond just human society. The Stoics saw the cosmos as a single living organism governed by a divine reason they called the Logos. From this perspective, acting justly isn't just a moral imperative. It's a way of aligning ourselves with the fundamental nature of reality. But let's bring this back to our daily lives. How can we practice justice in a world that often seems unfair? Here are a few practical suggestions. 1. Start with self-examination. Before judging others, look inward. Are there ways in which you might be acting unjustly without realizing it? 2. Speak up for others. When you witness injustice, have the courage to say something. As Martin Luther King Jr., who was influenced by Stoic thought, said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." 3. Practice gratitude. Regularly acknowledging the good in your life can help you maintain perspective and act more justly towards others. 4. Educate yourself. Learn about systemic injustices in society. Knowledge is the first step towards creating positive change. 5. Choose your battles wisely. Not every perceived slight requires a response. As Epictetus advises, if you hear that someone is speaking ill of you, instead of trying to defend yourself, you should say, "He obviously does not know me very well," since there are so many other faults he could have mentioned. As we strive to overcome the vice of injustice, it's important to remember that this is a lifelong journey. We will make mistakes. We will sometimes fall short of our ideals. The key is to keep trying, learn from our missteps, and continually reaffirm our commitment to justice. In the grand tapestry of life, each action we take, no matter how small, contributes to a more harmonious whole. As we cultivate justice within ourselves, we create ripples that extend far beyond our immediate circumstances. Imagine a world where each person strived to embody Stoic justice. How might our families, our workplaces, and our communities be transformed? How might we, as individuals, find greater peace and fulfillment? As we conclude our exploration of injustice, I invite you to carry these Stoic principles with you. Let them guide your actions, inform your decisions, and shape your interactions with others. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees." In our next segment, we'll delve into the third Stoic vice, cowardice. But before we do, take a moment to reflect on how you can bring more justice into your life. What small act of fairness can you commit to today? How might you cultivate a more just perspective in your daily interactions? The path from injustice to justice is not always easy, but infinitely rewarding. It leads us towards a life of integrity, harmony, and true freedom. As we continue our Stoic journey together, let's embrace the challenge of living justly, knowing that in doing so, we contribute to the well-being of all. Cowardice. As we explore Stoic philosophy, we arrive at the third cardinal vice, cowardice. The vice, perhaps more than any other, strikes at the heart of our ability to live a fulfilling life. But what did the Stoics truly mean by cowardice? Let's unravel this concept together. Cowardice, in Stoic terms, isn't simply about physical fear. It's about allowing fear in any form to prevent us from doing what we know is proper or necessary. Seneca poignantly stated, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." Imagine this scenario. You're in a team meeting and your colleague presents a flawed strategy that you know could harm the project. Your heart races, your palms sweat. You know you should speak up, but the fear of conflict, of being seen as confrontational, holds you back. This, my friends, is cowardice in action. To truly grasp the Stoic view on courage, let's journey back in time to ancient Rome. Picture Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, standing at the empire's frontier. Plague ravages the land. Enemies gather at the borders, and the weight of an empire rests on his shoulders. Yet, in his personal writings, later known as meditations, he reminds himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the essence of Stoic courage. It's not about being fearless, but about acting rightly in spite of fear. It's about facing life's challenges head-on, knowing that true harm comes not from external events, but from our judgments about them. So, how do we overcome the vice of cowardice in our daily lives? The Stoics offer us several powerful strategies. 1. Practice negative visualization. Regularly imagine losing the things you value. This helps you prepare for setbacks and reduces the fear of loss. 2. Focus on what you can control. Divide every situation into things you can influence and things you can't. Direct your energy towards what you can change. 3. Embrace discomfort. Deliberately put yourself in challenging situations. As Epictetus advises, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. 4. Reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, view them as opportunities for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? 5. Act with integrity. Remember that living according to your values often requires courage. As Marcus Aurelius said, you must be like a promontory of the sea, against which, though the waves beat continually, yet it both itself stands, and about it are those swelling waves stilled and quieted. Let's pause for a moment of reflection. Think about a recent situation where fear held you back. How might applying these Stoic principles have changed your response? Now, I'd like to offer you a Stoic challenge to practice courage in your daily life. For the next week, commit to doing one thing each day that scares you, no matter how small. It could be speaking up in a meeting, trying a new activity, or having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Remember, courage isn't about the absence of fear, but about action in the face of fear. As the Roman poet Horace said, "He who has begun has half done. Dare to be wise. Begin." In our modern world, cowardice often manifests in subtle ways. It's in the dreams we don't pursue, the truths we don't speak, the stands we don't take. But each time we choose courage, we expand our capacity for it. Consider the words of Epictetus. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This encapsulates the Stoic approach to courage. It's about defining our values and having the bravery to live by them, regardless of external circumstances. As we strive to overcome cowardice, it's crucial to remember that courage, like any virtue, is a skill that can be developed. Every time we face our fears, we grow stronger. Every time we choose integrity over comfort, we build our character. In the grand tapestry of life, each act of courage, no matter how small, contributes to a more vibrant and meaningful existence. As we cultivate courage within ourselves, we inspire others and create a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate circumstances. Imagine a world where each person strived to embody Stoic courage. How might our families, our workplaces, and our communities be transformed? How might we as individuals live more authentically and purposefully? As we conclude our exploration of cowardice, I invite you to carry these Stoic principles with you. Let them guide you when fear arises, when challenges seem insurmountable. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Our next segment will delve into the final Stoic vice, intemperance. But before we do, take a moment to reflect on how you can bring more courage into your life. What fear can you face today? What bold action can you take towards your goals? The path from cowardice to courage is not always easy, but infinitely rewarding. It leads us towards a life of authenticity, purpose, and true freedom. As we continue our Stoic journey together, let's embrace the challenge of living courageously, knowing that in doing so, we fulfill our highest potential as human beings. Intemperance. Intemperance, in the Stoic view, is the indulgence in excessive desires and pleasures. It's not about enjoying life's simple joys, but about being ruled by our cravings, unable to find contentment or moderation. Imagine this scenario. You've had a long, stressful day at work. As you scroll through social media, you're bombarded with images of lavish vacations, fancy cars, and seemingly perfect lives. Suddenly, you browse online shopping sites, compulsively adding items to your cart. Before you know it, you've made several impulse purchases, hoping to fill the void within. This, my friends, is the vice of intemperance in action. It's the relentless pursuit of external gratification, the belief that we can find lasting happiness through accumulating material possessions or the constant stimulation of our senses. But the Stoics had a different perspective. Seneca, the renowned Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the Stoic view on intemperance. To overcome this vice, the Stoics offer us several powerful strategies. 1. Practice voluntary discomfort. Deliberately engage in activities that challenge your comfort zone, such as fasting, cold showers, or sleeping on the floor. This helps you build self-discipline and reduce your attachment to material pleasures. 2. Cultivate gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the simple joys in your life, rather than constantly craving more. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." 3. Reframe your desires. When you find yourself wanting something, ask yourself, is this truly necessary for my well-being? Or am I just seeking a temporary distraction? This can help you differentiate between genuine needs and fleeting desires. 4. Embrace minimalism. Carefully consider the possessions in your life and let go of what you don't truly need. As the Stoics believed, the less I have, the more I possess. 5. Prioritize experiences over things. Invest your time and resources in activities, relationships, and personal growth, rather than accumulating material goods. As Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Let's pause for a moment of reflection. Think about a recent situation where you struggled with intemperance. How might applying these Stoic principles have changed your response? Now, I'd like to offer you a Stoic challenge to practice temperance in your daily life. For the next week, whenever you desire something, pause and ask, is this in alignment with my values and long-term well-being? If not, consider letting the desire pass without indulging it. Remember, overcoming intemperance isn't about depriving yourself of all pleasure. It's about finding balance, about recognizing that true fulfillment comes not from external acquisition, but from an inner sense of contentment and self-sufficiency. As we conclude our exploration of the 4 Stoic vices, let's take a moment to consider the bigger picture. We began by delving into the vice of foolishness, recognizing that our judgments and perceptions often lead us astray. We then explored injustice, understanding that our actions have consequences beyond ourselves. Next, we confronted the vice of cowardice, learning that true courage lies in facing our fears and living with integrity. And now, with intemperance, we've examined our tendency to seek happiness through external means rather than cultivating an inner sense of contentment and self-control. These 4 vices, foolishness, injustice, cowardice, and intemperance, are not just abstract concepts in ancient philosophy. They are the forces that shape our daily lives, often without conscious awareness. By recognizing and overcoming these vices, we open the door to their virtuous counterparts: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These are the qualities that the Stoics believed were essential for a fulfilling and meaningful existence. Imagine a world where each person strived to embody these Stoic virtues. How might our relationships, our communities, and our society as a whole be transformed? As we conclude our journey, I invite you to reflect on our explored lessons. How can you apply these Stoic principles to your own life? What small steps can you take today to cultivate greater wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance? Remember, the path to Stoic virtue is not about perfection, but constant growth and self-reflection. It's about acknowledging our flaws, embracing our challenges, and striving to become the best versions of ourselves. So let us end with the words of Marcus Aurelius, who perhaps best encapsulated the Stoic spirit. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. May these words inspire you to take charge of your thoughts, shape your actions, and live a life aligned with your highest values. In doing so, you transform your existence and contribute to the betterment of all. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the 4 Stoic vices. May our explored wisdom guide you towards a more virtuous, resilient, and fulfilling life.